everybody, and welcome back to The Hobby Musician. Today we've got a short video with one really important pro tip for all you woodworkers out there. Now certainly here on this channel we spend a lot of time making instruments, guitars, basses, stuff like you see here, but today's tip applies to any woodworker of any kind. Whether you're out there making furniture, decorative pieces, artistic pieces, whatever. If you're using wood, there is going to be coming a time where you're dealing with unwanted chips, cracks, divots, you name it, and we need some method for quickly filling, surfacing, and basically erasing those unintentional voids. But I also want to make it clear there are a number of ways you can do that, and different methods, different approaches have pros and cons. But today's tip is, recently, I have been finding one particular approach incredibly useful. It's cheap, it's flexible, it's quick, and it's lasting, and it is using UV activated resin. Now, before we go any further, I have a piece, I'm going to do a demo, I'll show you how I'm using this, but I want to make a clear distinction. This UV kind of epoxy is very, very different than if builders are intentionally planning out projects where you see using more of the traditional two-part epoxies. You see these fantastic builders, for example, these gorgeous river tables where large areas get filled with colorful two-part epoxies, and that's part of the design. That's intentional. What I'm talking about today is very, very different. I'm talking about areas on your piece that you wished were wood, that you don't intend, you never planned on putting anything in there, but an accident or just the nature of a little rotten piece actually happened. UV resin is one of the ways that I have found to be super quick, super lasting, and just a quick way of getting back up and running with my piece and not wasting any time. Now, I just want to make it clear too, I did all my homework. I'm not sponsored by any company. These are the ones that I researched, I spent my own money, and I just personally use. So if you watch this and if you want to kind of use exactly what I am, I'm going to go ahead and put some easy, accessible Amazon affiliate links down below the video. So in the comments section, in the description, just go down there, click right into it, and you can be up and running in no time with these exact products. Okay, right now, I'm going to get the camera switched up so you can see. I'm going to zoom in, and you can see this in action. So I'll be right back in a sec. All right, everybody, we're all set up and ready to go here with a quick demonstration. And just to clarify, the only two things that I'm going to need, I am going to use the resin that we talked about just a second ago, but the reason it is UV activated is because you can start the curing process and actually complete the curing process just using UV light. Now, there's two ways. We're going to use just a simple, inexpensive UV flashlight today, but as we talk later, if you're doing a lot of repairs, if you have divots all over the surface of something, I actually recommend filling in all the places with the resin and then taking your piece outside. If you've got a flat spot or somewhere you can put it in sunlight, the sun is actually going to give you a lot more UV light, and it will cure larger projects much quicker. But if you only have one spot, like we do today, that's why I'm going to use this flashlight. Now, just to give you a quick look real close, this is the divot, the void that I want to fill today. So you can see this is a piece that I'm sort of just through the roughing stage. Yesterday I was out and I was just doing some surfacing. So all of this was actually solid. And as I begin to do some finishing passes to get it all level, I started to take off the top, and when I did that, this started off solid, but it revealed that just under the surface, I had this little void, and it was kind of rotten wood, and it chipped out. So I want the back of this whole thing to be mirror smooth. So that is why I'm going to use the UV resin and fill in here just really quickly, and within a couple of minutes after curing it, I'll be able to work with it further. Now, as I get going here, there's a couple other reasons why I really like this resin. One of them you're going to see right now. Unlike a lot of the other methods or techniques, this resin, kind of no matter what brand you get, is a little bit on the viscous side. So as I start to pour, you're going to see I pour it slowly, but because it's viscous, it's more like like a syrup. You actually have a good deal of control. You don't have to go very fast. You can go slow. And what I'm doing, I'm picking one spot. And once I get it starting to flow, I'm just gently putting pressure with my fingers. I'm gently squeezing the bottle because as it flows, it will start to kind of naturally fill in, from gravity. It'll fill in all the nooks and crannies. And if I just little by little squeeze, I'm moving it a little bit back and forth to kind of encourage it to fill up. But you can see here, it doesn't take very long. And I kind of come up and test it to see how full this little cavity is. And just a little bit more squeezing, it's going slow enough that I can really choose how full I want this. Now I am going, and this is my normal thing, I'm going to add just enough so that it kind of bubbles over, just over a little bit, rather than be perfectly flat, because then that gives me a little bit I can sand down. So now, here comes the part of the UV. So I'm going to hold this on here and just, this is the boring part of the video. This little UV flashlight, that's all you need to start the curing process. This material is translucent, so the UV light can go all the way through. It can cure and, harden this stuff kind of no matter, what depth. I wouldn't recommend doing this if you have like inches and inches deep, but little voids like this, it only takes a couple minutes of UV light. Now, as it goes, I will use my fingernail as a test. I'll hold this on for maybe 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and then I will use the tip of my fingernail and I'll touch it and tap the material. If it's gummy and your fingernail kind of goes into it, then I'll come back to the flashlight for a couple more minutes. But if it's like hard and you can kind of tap on it, then it's cured and you're done. You can move on. You can come back and sand this. You can move on maybe if you have to fill other divots. But like I said, this is great. This flashlight method is great if you have a single or just a couple places you're working on. But just thinking ahead, if I'm working on a piece in the future where I see nicks and dings all over this, I'll take that resin and I'll fill all the nicks and dings and then just take this whole thing outside. The sun can hit the entire surface of it, 5 minutes out there, and then you're back and at it instead of 5 minutes on every single spot. So that's all it takes. The demo is basically done. I'm going to stick around. I'm going to hold this UV light on here for a couple more minutes, and then we'll get the camera switched back out and finish off this video. So I'll be back with you in just 1 sec. Well, everybody, we're all done. It's as simple as that. Once I cut off the camera just a second ago, I let that UV light go for maybe another couple of minutes, and with that fingernail test, you can hear it's completely cured. It's ready to be sanded and finished off with the rest of this piece. So I hope you can see from today's video that something like this UV activated resin is an incredibly versatile and quick tool that can help you in those times where you have unintentional nicks and cracks that you're trying to fix up in your projects. Now don't forget, if you like this, if you want to give it a shot, head down below the video. I got those Amazon affiliate links for the exact products that you saw me use today. And I want to thank you so much for watching. And as always, until next time, play on, my friends, play on.